In a world where alliances are constantly shifting and global politics grow ever more complex, the US-Canada border is home to a truly monumental structure, the Gordie Howe International Bridge. Stretching across the Detroit River, this bridge is not just a feat of engineering but a powerful symbol of connection between two nations with a long, intertwined history. With a staggering price tag of $6.4 billion, this marvel of modern construction is far more than a simple crossing point. It stands as a bold statement against the rising tide of protectionism and isolationism that has swept across much of the world in recent years. Every steel beam and cable represents a commitment to openness, cooperation, and shared prosperity. As political tensions simmer and sometimes boil over, the Gordie Howe International Bridge emerges as a beacon of hope, a bet on the enduring power of free trade, even as threats of tariffs and trade barriers loom large. The flags of both nations fluttering in the wind serve as a reminder of the deep economic and cultural ties that bind the US and Canada together. Yet these ties are not immune to strain. Former President Trump's proposed tariffs and ongoing debates over trade policy have challenged the very foundation of US-Canada commerce, casting uncertainty over the future of cross-border exchange. The bridge, in many ways, stands at the heart of an ideological conflict. It raises a crucial question. Can this grand project withstand the mounting pressures of political discord, or will it become a casualty of shifting priorities and rising nationalism? For decades, the US-Canada trade relationship has been celebrated as a global model of cooperation, trust, and mutual benefit. Every day, thousands of trucks and millions of dollars in goods cross this border, fueling industries and supporting jobs on both sides. The outcome of this trade crossroads will resonate far beyond North America. It will test the principles of collaboration versus nationalism, and the world is watching closely to see which path these two nations will choose. Will the promise of the new bridge, of increased trade, economic growth, and shared opportunity, ultimately prevail? Or will the forces of protectionism and division slow the flow of commerce, leaving the bridge underutilized and its potential unrealized? As the world's eyes turn to this stretch of the Detroit River, the outcome of this trade showdown will echo for years to come, shaping not only the future of US-Canada relations but also the broader landscape of international trade. The fate of the Gordie Howe International Bridge is more than a local story. It is a test of whether nations can still build bridges, both literal and figurative, in a time of uncertainty. Its legacy will help define the future of global commerce and cooperation. The Gordie Howe Bridge's necessity stems from its aging predecessor, the Ambassador Bridge. This vital trade link, handling a quarter of US-Canada merchandise trade, is now a bottleneck. Opened in 1929, it wasn't built for today's traffic, causing chronic congestion and economic drain. Delays disrupt just-in-time manufacturing, costing billions annually. Security enhancements and protests highlighted its vulnerability. The 2022 blockade cost the auto industry $300 million, underscoring the need for a new solution. The Canadian government, frustrated by private ownership, sought a publicly owned modern crossing. The stage was set for a new bridge to secure the trade corridor's future. The Gordie Howe Bridge is that solution, built with redundancy and security at its core. The Gordie Howe Bridge was born from over a decade of intense negotiations, careful planning, and international cooperation. The idea for a new crossing between Windsor, Ontario and Detroit, Michigan was sparked by growing concerns over aging infrastructure and the need for a more reliable, modern link between Canada and the United States. Years of discussions, feasibility studies, and community consultations finally paved the way for this ambitious project to move forward. Unlike the historic Ambassador Bridge, which has served as a vital artery for nearly a century, the Gordie Howe Bridge is a state-of-the-art, 6-lane, cable-stayed structure. Its design is tailored for the demands of 21st century trade, featuring advanced engineering and safety features to accommodate the ever-increasing flow of goods and travelers. Canada has taken the lead on this transformative project, not only overseeing construction but also financing the U.S. port of entry. This bold move highlights the bridge's immense economic significance for both nations, ensuring that cross-border trade remains efficient and secure for decades to come. The Gordie Howe Bridge is a strategic investment designed to break the chronic border bottlenecks that have long plagued the region. By providing a new high-capacity route, it aims to secure economic sovereignty and strengthen the vital trade corridor that supports thousands of jobs on both sides of the border. As of September 2025, the bridge is nearing completion, with its iconic towers now connected across the Detroit River. The construction process has been a feat of modern engineering, involving thousands of workers and countless hours of effort. The project remains on track for a late 2025 opening, promising not just a new crossing but a lasting legacy of international collaboration, economic growth, and shared prosperity for generations to come. With an impressive 853-meter main span, the Gordie Howe Bridge will rank among North America's longest cable-stayed bridges, standing as a symbol of progress and innovation. The massive customs plazas at each end are designed for maximum efficiency, equipped to process thousands of trucks and vehicles every day. This will dramatically reduce wait times and streamline the movement of goods across the border. The Gordie Howe Bridge is more than just a structure, it's a future-proof investment in North America's economic future, signaling Canada's long-term vision for trade, connectivity, and prosperity on the world stage. The Gordie Howe Bridge's staggering $6.4 billion price tag represents one of the most ambitious infrastructure investments in North American history. This massive sum is more than just a construction budget, it's a high-stakes financial gamble, hinging on the hope that cross-border trade between Canada and the United States will continue to grow in the coming decades. The bridge is not just concrete and steel, it's a bet on the future of international commerce. Canada's plan to recoup this enormous investment relies heavily on toll revenue. The government is banking on a steady increase in the flow of goods and people, expecting that the bridge will become a vital artery for North American trade. Every truck, car, and shipment that crosses will contribute to paying off the billions spent, making the bridge's financial success directly tied to the health of cross-border commerce. The bridge is designed to do more than just move vehicles. It aims to lower transportation costs for businesses, strengthen fragile supply chains, and create thousands of jobs both during construction and for years to come. By providing a faster, more reliable route, it promises to boost economic activity on both sides of the border, supporting industries from manufacturing to agriculture. However, this optimistic vision faces significant headwinds. Rising economic nationalism, particularly in the United States, is casting a shadow over the bridge's financial prospects. Political movements calling for protectionism and skepticism about globalization threaten to disrupt the very trade flows the bridge depends on. Former President Trump's imposition of tariffs on Canadian goods is a stark reminder of how quickly the economic equation can change. If such policies return or intensify, they could reduce cross-border trade, slashing toll revenue, and undermining the bridge's financial foundation. In essence, Canada has built a trade superhighway at a time when the United States is openly considering new barriers. The bridge stands ready to facilitate commerce, but its success depends on political decisions beyond its control. The central question remains, can the bridge's promised efficiency and cost savings for businesses offset the potential impact of new tariffs or trade restrictions? Its future hinges on whether increased productivity can outpace the risks of protectionism. Despite these uncertainties, government officials remain hopeful. They argue that logic and mutual economic interest will ultimately prevail over short-term political rhetoric, and that both countries stand to gain far more from cooperation than from conflict. For now, the bridge's financial viability hangs in the balance, caught between the forces of economic integration and the rising tide of protectionism. Its fate will be decided not just by engineers and financiers, but by politicians and voters on both sides of the border. Ultimately, the Gordie Howe Bridge is more than a physical structure. It's a high-stakes test of the resilience and adaptability of cross-border trade in an era of uncertainty. The outcome will shape the economic landscape of North America for generations to come. A potential second Trump presidency revives a trade doctrine centered on tariffs. A proposed 10% tariff on all imports threatens Canada's economy, heavily reliant on U.S. trade. The tariffs aim to boost American manufacturing by making imports more expensive. This policy appeals to voters in industrial regions despite economic debate. A 10% tariff would disrupt the U.S.-Canada supply chain, impacting industries like auto manufacturing. Retaliatory tariffs could further strain the trade relationship, creating uncertainty. The $2 billion a day trade relationship faces profound uncertainty under this doctrine. The Gordie Howe Bridge is a strategic asset for Canada amid tariff threats. Its efficiency can mitigate tariff impacts by reducing crossing times and logistics costs. Businesses may adapt rather than relocate, thanks to the bridge's cost-saving potential. The bridge symbolizes Canada's commitment to trade, strengthening its negotiating position. It provides redundancy, enhancing the trade corridor's resilience against disruptions. The bridge acts as an insurance policy, ensuring trade flow amid political uncertainty. It sends a powerful message of Canada's readiness to invest in the trade relationship. The bridge is a strategic move in a high-stakes economic game. Dr. Amisha Patel, a trade economist, describes the situation as economic chess. Canada strengthened its position with the Gordie Howe Bridge, adding redundancy and efficiency. The bridge changes the dynamic of trade disputes, reducing vulnerability. It acts as a buffer against economic pressure, lessening the impact of low-level tariffs. Dr. Patel believes the bridge strengthens Canada's negotiating position. It allows Canada to argue that tariffs harm both American and Canadian interests. The bridge is a $6.4 billion statement of commitment to North American trade. It challenges the U.S. to decide between partnership and obstruction. The bridge is a powerful piece of economic diplomacy. The bridge's story is rooted in Windsor and Detroit communities. These cities are integrated, with daily cross-border exchanges shaping their identity. The bridge's construction brought economic activity but also disrupted neighborhoods. As it nears completion, hopes rise for new prosperity and investment. Tariff threats cast a shadow, risking jobs in industries like auto manufacturing. Communities fear increased costs could lead to layoffs, threatening livelihoods. Yet there's resilience and pride in the bridge as a symbol of progress. Residents hope interconnected lives will triumph over divisive politics. Their future hangs in the balance, suspended between the bridge's towers. The Gordie Howe Bridge stands ready, a testament to foresight and collaboration. Built to solve past problems, it now faces protectionism and potential tariff wars. The bridge's efficiency will be tested against new trade barriers. The outcome affects millions whose jobs depend on this economic artery. It's a showdown between infrastructure and ideology, with global implications. The bridge is a model of US-Canada cooperation, tested by political rhetoric. Its success or failure will influence global trade and collaboration. Will the bridge absorb tariff shocks or be overshadowed by economic walls? The answer will shape North America's economic landscape for decades.